They watched the entire NC State game last year, and they're a year older and a year better. Only we played terrific defense tonight. Did a really good job of keeping the pressure on without fouling. And you'll find out when teams play against us, even though they're very good free throw shooting teams, they'll wear out from the foul line as well as from the field. And that's a stat that I've never kept over the years, but it's a remarkable stat. So I'm real proud of our guys. That walkthrough today was tremendous. It sent the coaches into the at the pregame really excited about that.
What kind of deflection night was it, and what kind of deflection team do you think this can be, and has it been so far?
Well, it's very tough to get deflections against these guys because they'll put 4 guards on the floor. But we got 35 tonight, which is our goal. It's terrific. We were 11 for 16 on the break. Obviously, we shot a good percentage from the field at almost 46%. Held them at one time in the second half, late in the second half, we had them at 19%. This is a team last year that shot 48% against good competition.
Rick, good pickup, good from Adele tonight. Talk about his play and how you thought he did.
I think he played well, but I think VJ played. The good thing, VJ's getting his confidence, is we can play Dang and VJ together.
Where's Mango physically right now?
I think he's okay physically. I think he tires much quicker. So we got to get shorter spurts, get him out, running up and down the court. I think basketball-wise, he's close to 100%, but I think conditioning-wise, he's not. Because there are a lot of rebounds. Like he had 10 tonight, but there are a lot of rebounds. He could have had 15, 16 rebounds tonight. They were right in his area.
Coach, it seemed like early on you guys were kind of going side to side offensively, but really in the second half it seemed like you really wanted to go north and south and attack the basket.
Well, that's because they played zone. They played zone, and sometimes the zone makes you do that. But when they played man, we were better. And then also Donovan threw some great passes inside, even against the zone. We attacked their 1-3-1 very well. I thought our offense was really good. A couple of guys got to valued the pass more so than the shot. A couple of guys that aren't used to Louisville basketball yet, but it takes time. We did a really good job on that point guard. He's a terrific basketball player. He's the glue. He's a 3-to-1 assist turnover ratio guy. He shoots a high percent. We did a good job defensively the entire night. Really, nothing was easy for them.
Rick, after the last game, you said you wanted Deng to just keep shooting. Do you feel like he kind of listened, did that tonight?
Yeah, I think they all listened. They have no shyness tonight. They all putting it up, and I think they're going to have to be a little more patient against better defensive teams where they make the extra pass and swing. But look, I've got no complaints. That focus today was unbelievable. I know you don't know William and Mary is a household name, but we watched almost every game they played. Like Kevin Keith last year had a terrific team, pressing, running team, and they had Duke beat in the NCAA. Duke came back and beat them in the second half. This team beat them 2 out of 3, and then the other one at Wilmington was overtime. So that's why I was overly concerned, because we play similar styles, Wilmington and us. So I was real pleased with what they did defensively.
Is the biggest thing you like to see is just that help side defense, blocking shots, that type of thing?
Well, it's tougher against this team to play great help side defense. What we did tonight tried to do is, if you got beat, if I'm guarding this guy in the perimeter, I got beat, I'll switch onto you, and that guy doesn't pay any attention. He just runs to his man, and we did a great job of that.
It looked late in the first half like it was going to be a game right up to halftime, and then you guys right at the end, it looked like the defense they got hands on balls and started getting some runs.
You know what I find interesting about, and I don't mean you, Erica, but the commentators especially, like last night I was very excited because Reggie Theus was down 2, up 2 at UCLA, and I was listening to the commentators in the football game, and it was 13-0 at halftime? Is that what the score was? 12-0. And we wound up winning and playing great. And the announcers kept saying, boy, they didn't play well, and this is not indicative of this game. And yes, it is indicative. Very indicative of the game. We wore them out. We scored 44 points, and that's what happens. The other team's using the clock, running it down to 5 seconds, playing great defense, keeping the offense off the field, and then we play great. And same thing with basketball. Oh, at the half you were tied, or what did you think about the last game when it was 26-20 early in the game? They were right with you. Well, they're supposed to be right with you. It's a 40-minute game. A good friend of mine today said, they hung in with you at halftime. I said, no, it's not halftime. In the NBA, A lot of times you're at home and you're down at halftime. And then you win by 13, 14. It's a full game. Guys are judging now how you play on halftime scores and third quarter scores. And it's not the way the game's played. We rely on fatiguing our opponents and letting the game, and you saw from the foul line as well. It's a 40-minute game. It's, you know, if you're down early, we're going to be down a lot at the 15-minute mark. So we're going to be down a lot at halftime. But it's not a halftime game. The gentleman right there, he was repeating it. That's the guy who kept saying about halftime. And I said, well, if you want to change the rules of basketball and play 20 minutes, Joe, maybe you can do it in overtime.
Just to rephrase that. The runs may be more dramatic from the defense. I mean,
Well, it's
attacking
dramatic,
last
Eric,
year,
when,
but yeah.
you know, sometimes you don't get your runs because you don't score offensively. You need to get your runs because you score, and then you get into your press. Then you get loose balls, and then you get the other team to shoot quick. And then that has that boom effect. But you gotta score. The droughts happen when you don't score, because then you don't get your pressure on. And then fatigue has to set in. You know, guys are in good shape as well as us, and it takes a certain point in the game where maybe you have your run.
What does DJ need to do to play 20 minutes, or however many minutes you want to get him and stay on the floor?
I'll play 3 more minutes for you, Jeff, next week. He had 17.
No, I know, but I'm saying, what do you want to see from him to stay on?
I don't know, that's a great suggestion. I'm gonna play him 20 next game. I really, to tell you the truth, Jeff, to be honest, I don't know how many minutes he's playing. I'm just trying to get his feet wet. This is a very difficult game for him to guard. He gets a little tired out there, and I could play 30 minutes and be very happy. The thing I found out tonight is that Dang and VJ can play together. That's the most important thing, and gives you great length.
What specifically did you like what BJ did tonight?
I think he's very aggressive offensively. He's got a great first step. He's getting much more confident because of the thousands of shots he's taken. He's a really good basketball player. You know, he's overwhelmed with how many things are being thrown at him right now. And each game you can see it. He's not thinking as much, he's just playing. And tonight was indicative of him just playing and not thinking too much.
As much emphasis as you place on deflections, do you look at blocks in a different category at 10 again for the second straight game?
Well, there's 5 areas of our, like we got 35 tonight. There's 5 areas. Block shots 1, the deflection on the ball's 2, the steal is 3, the back tip and transition order press is 4, and the loose ball recovery is 5. So the 35 is a combination of that. So that 10 is inclusive of